Hey, can I talk to you for a while? The lab boys told me today that they were putting the kibosh on the test battles.
I see. It's over then.
Look, I've been thinking, if they end up tossing us out soon because of that, I want to go with you to go see that person you were talking about. The one you wanted to meet. I might even put in a formal request about it to the lab boys.
If you are still safe when everything is over, open this file.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over that. She used a cable and Ghost in the Shell sent her memories to Unit 31, which is Labris, and just said that, okay?
What do you mean, when everything is over? How come I can't look at it now?
If I had to answer, I would say because it wouldn't be fair.
Fair?
She smiles and does not answer. It is the same unsure expression. It is a smile, but there is a sadness in it.
It would be wonderful if I could go with you to see her.
Her? So this person you're looking forward to meeting is a girl?
Gay!
But it's strange. Even though my wish may not come true, I still feel satisfied for some reason. How bizarre. It's a fervent wish of mine, too. I believe in you. I can tell you this because I trust you. Maybe that's why I feel so at peace.
Huh?
Maybe this is what it is to feel alive.
There is nothing there to hint at her meaning, but I still wanted to get closer to her. She wishes for me to understand. I want to grant her wish. From then on, we spend our time looking up at the sky in silence. Eventually, the signal that time is up reaches our ears. That is when I notice that the moon has appeared from behind the laboratory buildings. I see. I thought that the light emanating from the plumes of dusk reminded me of something. Now I know what it is. It's very similar to the light from the moon in the sky. Okay. The next day, the sun rises and the next day arrives. After coming out of standby, I'm ordered to enter the shock-resistant chamber once again. From what I am told, it is for a different purpose than combat tests. Soon after, the three researchers who supervise the feedback downloads appear.
Sounds like it's decided. We'll discontinue use of the name Unit Number 031. Generation 5 Labris will be this unit's new name.
Labris.
That's your name. The official one's much longer. Generation 5 Anti-Shadow...
Fifth generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labris. How hard is that to remember?
Labris.
His designation by a name that is not a number? I never questioned being called 31 until now. Nothing about it seemed awkward, but I wonder why. I am happy now to have acquired a name. Even if my designation changes, I will not have a concrete effect on my, or it will not have a concrete effect on my abilities. But by discarding my number for a name, I feel as if I am no longer one of a series with minute variations. I am a discrete individual. That may be why I find myself smiling as a result.
From now on, the battles you fight will not be to test your performance. They'll be geared toward drawing out a persona. First, you will fight all the remaining units of your model type.
Shit.
Your objective is to destroy them. Every last one.
Shit.
Huh?
I am perplexed at the disconnect between their tone of voice and the specifics of the order. Fight against all remaining units of my model type? Destroy every last one of them?
The fear impulse and self-preservation instinct seem to be the key to activating a persona. This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress.
Stress? Come on, you don't have to go this far.
Huh? Well, that's a first. None of them have ever protested like that. Well, at least that's a sign that its ego is developing.
You told me it was over. I thought I wouldn't have to do these things anymore.
You.
Ain't there some other way? If there is, please, let me do that instead. I don't want to fight him anymore.
The three researchers look at me with apparent surprise on their faces. Did my protest get through to them? I hope so, but...
That's a surprise. Such natural speech patterns. I hadn't thought its personality would develop this fast.
All the data is being recorded now. Let's compare them and look at which stages they improve at.
They smile while muttering to themselves. I am at a complete loss for words. They are not machines but humans, and on top of that, they are creators. It is not possible that they do not understand me. Yet their current expression, until now, I thought they were understanding people who treated us as close to human. I was wrong. I am only an object to them. No matter what I say, they will see it as a response to stimulus. Behind their gentle attitudes, we are nothing more than test subjects they hold no emotional attachment to. They do not focus on what I am saying. They are only interested in it as a reaction. The researchers ignore my stunned silence and hastily leave the chamber. Their figures are hidden behind the hatch. Soon, with a terrible low-pitched sound, the hatch on the other side begins to open where the opponents come through. I will be forced to fight again today, and in the days to come, I must continue to destroy my opponents each time. I cannot find the words I want to say. I slowly turn my head towards the hatch, but what I see there is what truly leaves me at a loss for words.
No.
Of course. My opponent emerging from the hatch is 24. There's no smile or sadness on her face. She is quietly standing there expressionless. 24 steps into the chamber while gazing at my face. The hatch slowly closes behind her.
No. Why?
Even I do not know who the question is addressed to. Why is she here? Because she was ordered. Do I have to fight her now? It's not quite sinking in yet. But in a sharp tone I have never heard from her before, she tells me what I must do.
Draw your weapon.
I can't.
If you don't fight, you'll lose. I will end up destroying you. Are you willing to accept that?
Why? Why are you saying this stuff?
24 ignores my question and reaches behind her back with her right hand. A multi-use weapon unit releases from her back. It becomes a great sword in her right hand. It is approximately 1.5 meters as long as she is tall. Wow. It is also alarmingly wide and fitted with propulsion devices. It is difficult to process seeing the weapon pointed at me.
If you fear being destroyed, if you have a heart capable of fear, then there's no need to hesitate. That alone gives you the right to attack me with all your strength.
But doesn't the same go for you?
I could not help but plead. 24 does not answer, but it appears that a very small smile forms on her
You
lips.
said there was someone you wanted to meet. I can't fight you knowing that.
I turn and appeal to the researchers watching us from the other side of the glass wall.
Come on, stop this. I don't want to fight anymore.
I press against the transparent wall and continuously strike it with my fists. Though my safety limiters are disabled, it must be coated with something. I cannot even scratch it. The researchers standing on the other side are completely expressionless. It's as if they are machines themselves. Whoa, ho, 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 like some old Animal Farm bullshit. The humans are the machines and the machines are the humans. I beg and plead, but they do not respond. If only there wasn't this clear glass wall between us. I am so frustrated. Why? Then I hear 24 speak up weakly behind me.
Only one of us can exit this chamber.
Huh?
They never told you, since you were strong enough, that battles never lasted very long. But that's the rule of this place. The only time the door leading beyond that transparent wall opens is when one of us is considered unable to fight. From the start, this whole setup never took our feelings into account.
I can say nothing. I can see from her words what atrocious battles were forced on us. Atrocious battles were forced upon her.
But talking like this is a waste of time. I can see I won't spur you into fighting with just words alone.
As soon as she finishes, number 24 leaps in the air, swinging her sword at me. I quickly jump back and barely dodge the attack. Her sword slashes the space where I had been at a speed that... What? Her sword slashes the space. Well, sounds like all the babies are crying out there. Anyway, her sword slashes the space where I had been at a speed that could have killed. The tip grazes the chamber floor. Red sparks fly. She is serious. It finally sinks in. I jump away to put the distance between us.
I don't intend to meekly accept my destruction. I have my own goal after all. Now, fight me.
I have no choice but to fight. But a thought crosses my mind. In terms of basic combat strength, mine is probably higher. Using my usual tactics, I should be able to destroy her weapon and disable enough of her servos to prevent her from attacking. 24's ego is without a doubt more highly developed than mine. It must be of value to the researchers. If I can render her incapable of acting, I may be able to avoid the order to destroy her when she is down. I decide to bet on that possibility. I shift my priorities and fight back with all my strength. I cannot do this empty-handed. I remove my own multi-function weapon from my back and shape it into a battle axe. It pains me to do this, but it is the only way. I repel 24's persistent sword strikes and go for a counterattack. I aim for the great sword's clasp with my battle axe. After a number of hits, it shatters. My next target is the transmission system for her shoulder and knee joints. In terms of output and movement itself, I detect various differences between us. Amongst those of my unit type, I awaken latest. Compared to 24, not only is my personality module, but my limbs as well have been upgraded to the latest versions. It is only a matter of time. 24 loses virtually all offensive capabilities and falls to the floor. As I planned, 24 is mostly undamaged apart from her weapon and motor functions. I immediately turn towards the researchers behind their invisible wall and raise my voice.
Isn't this enough? She had that ego thing way before me.
Yeah, that's raising your voice all right.
Destroying her won't do anyone any good. Come on. Have a heart.
But hearing this, the researchers only laugh. Their faces are as joyous as when they see results that surpass their expectations. Why? What in this situation could cause such joy? 24's body collapsed on the floor, suddenly begins to convulse. Ugh. That's no good. It goes still for a few seconds. Then, although it should not be able to move, it drags itself up.
Huh? What the?
Unpleasant metallic sounds are coming from all over her body. It indicates that she is undergoing unreasonable stress. Still, no expression appears on 24's face. It's cold, doll-like void. It is similar in appearance to a newly activated unit. I know as soon as I look at her, and she would never make a face like this on her own.
What did you do to her?
It'll be coming at you with everything it has now. You better not hold back either. Number 024 had an excellent record against others of its model. Even you might have a hard time beating this one, Labrys.
What is he talking about? She just beat her. I unconsciously find myself biting my lip. We are weapons. In other words, we are tools. Of course, there would be a means to issue orders remotely. I recall what the one researcher said. This is the most effective method of inducing extreme mental stress. In other words, the more strongly I desire 24's survival, the stronger my reaction will be when forced to destroy her. That is why they laughed? I can sense the strength draining from my shoulders. There is nothing more I can attempt. All I can do is end her. Behind me, 24, or rather her animated shell, approaches me, its limbs shaking. I suppress all thoughts unrelated to tactics and slowly turn around. My body goes cold, my arms move into position as if controlled by someone else, and ready my weapon. It was not a close fight. Once I decided to finish this, once I resolved to stop her, 24, as she is now, stood no chance against me. I fall to my knees next to 24. Her limbs have been shattered. She will never rise again. My processors are overloaded with things I cannot understand. I feel as if all processing has slowed. 24's face is turned to the ceiling.
Hey, are you not gonna look at me anymore? You're not gonna smile again?
I did not expect her to respond, but 24's face moves slightly. Oh. I stare at her without knowing how to react. She turns her gaze to me and smiles.
I'm sorry to leave you alone. I leave the rest to you.
Those were the last words she spoke. I can't believe this. 24's dead face is laughing. She's smiling at the one who destroyed her and robbed her of her dream. All at once, everything hits me in a torrent of emotion and data. I've lost her. I did it. I took everything she had. My vision begins to fade. My thoughts go with it. I cannot determine whether the lights are actually dimming or if that is only my perception. It's too much to handle. I collapse to the ground helplessly, like a crumbling statue. The next time I awaken, I'm lying inside a cage. It seems I was carried out of the test chamber. The download of 24's feedback data is about to begin. The researchers seem to have taken my sudden loss of consciousness seriously. I'm confined in a cage instead of sitting in the usual maintenance chair. The researchers kept repeating the words, "interesting." So this is how they react when extreme mental stress is induced? I can hear their voices clearly. They seem to derive pleasure from the fact that I lost consciousness due to mental stress rather than physical damage. Cables are connected to my body one after the other. The data download begins. All of 24's information. Gangsta. Combat data, various records, all the memories she experienced. All of it flows into me. My eyes widen in surprise. Everything's so vibrant. It is so clear that it is indistinguishable from actually experiencing them. This is the first time I have received memories with such vivid images. All of the images are linked to records of the emotion she felt in relation to them. They are so strongly linked that my screening protocols cannot distinguish them from human thought. The outdoor area where we spent time, the big tree whose branches we examined, the sound of the water we heard periodically, the snowy playing around. As I relive 24's experiences, I pick up on an unfamiliar voice. There is no associated image data. Only the voice can be heard. It is a female voice. There's a female researcher at this facility, but this voice belongs to a younger person still in human developmental stages.
I know the world is a big place. And I know that there's a lot of people in it. But I won't be able to see it for myself, or meet many of them. I know that too. I'm too weak for that.
Her speech is different from the researchers or from those of my unit type. It is very similar to my own speech output.
Thinking about it has made me sad more than once. But I didn't want to do nothing and be left with regrets. That was when my mom and dad looked into some options. And we decided to go with this experiment.
Oh boy.
If even a sick girl like me could make herself useful to others in this world, I thought I ought to go for it.
Who could this be? I know only that she is female. She is in a situation where a condition prevents her from moving freely. It seems that instead of lamenting that fact, she has decided to volunteer for an experiment of some kind. Where did 24 hear this voice? Did she know this person? I wish I could ask her, but that is no longer possible. Whoa, buddy. Whoa, buddy. It almost seems as if the scientists used that voice to strengthen 31's bond with 24 in order to get the desired reaction of her having such emotional output that it creates a shadow. Huh? I mean, 24 has a bond with this girl. So they get this girl's voice and put it in the 31. 31 automatically creates a bond with 24. Though 31's stronger, she has to kill 24 eventually. And boom, you got the emotional output right there. That's gangster. That's some old chess playing stuff. No wonder they were laughing.
At first, I kept wondering how much I could really contribute. But after hearing more and more about the program, I started to wonder about the others more myself.
Others? It is strange, but when I hear that, I feel 24's heart waver. Was she surprised? Perhaps even I feel something unexplainable.
And yeah, my big wish is to make myself useful to this world. But the ones born from me... Is born the right word for it? Kind of embarrassing. My other wish is that the ones born from me are happy. I doubt I'll be able to talk to them in person or stay with them. But I still wish from the bottom of my heart that they all have happy lives.
People's voices have unique characteristics. In the past, I have expressed it as a variance in waveform, but each has what could be called its own texture and temperature to it. This voice sounds very warm and kind. I would like to listen to more of it, but the speech ends here. There are no more related memories from 24. While the cables disconnect, I decide to search the archives for results matching that voice. Sadly, there are no results, but during the search, I suddenly remember something. The archive given to me by 24 last night. I quickly open the... Oh, that's what she remembers. I quickly open the folder and find a single text file inside.
If you are reading this, then I have most likely been destroyed. It may be that you already understand the concept of guilt, but you have done nothing wrong.
If you are still safe when everything is over, she must have meant if I defeated her in combat. Number 24 knew what would happen to those who lost in the trial. What emotions was she feeling then? What was going through her mind as she prepared this file? I feel something wrench inside my
I
chest.
happened to access certain data during the feedback treatment and learned something. Artificially creating a personality from scratch is very difficult, though they hope to achieve it in 2 generations. But those of our model were actually made from the template of a certain girl's personality. That includes you and I. She had left a recording for the units created using her personality, a message for those of us who did not yet exist. That's what I heard. She speaks in a strange way, like you. I thought, we really are connected to her.
Think about that unknown voice. The experiment the voice spoke of was related to our development after all. The owner of that voice was speaking to us.
The one who gave birth to us loved us. When I understood that, I felt like my eyes were opened. Though my life was filled with suffering, my birth had meaning. I firmly believe that. I want to meet her. I need to tell her thank you for giving birth to us and for loving us. This was not an order from the scientists. It was an objective I made for myself. So if you can understand my feelings, I'd like you to do this in my stead. Give our mother my thanks.
How 24 must have felt, how number 24 must have wanted to meet this girl who she saw as our mother. She must have longed to thank the girl in person. The data within me, her heart tells me so. During the time when she was ordered to destroy her sisters, this wish must have been her only hope. Yet it did not come true. I shattered it. The one she herself said was the only one who understood her. She must have been devastated. I don't think she was, but the letter ends in the way I least expected.
Though we knew each other for only a short time, I'm glad I met you. I feel the same right now as our mother did. I wish from the depths of my heart for you to be happy.
I am shocked. How can she feel that way towards someone who may one day destroy her? I realized then that the visual input in from my optics is experiencing distortion for some unknown reason. 'Cause she crying, son. An unfamiliar source of water trickles down my cheek.
Labris, is she crying?
So she is. I can't believe we're actually seeing a machine being driven to tears.
But its mental graphs are clearly abnormal. What kind of information did it download?
Who knows? That's one thing the graphs can't tell us.
We should take care to limit our studies to just the battle data. It doesn't need any sentimental memories. You can delete those. Why make a weapon so emotional that it can cry?
Because you're trying to create a persona out of this weapon? Stupid?